نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, today I'm going to talk about rulings of the sacred law. There are 5 categories in the sacred law, which is the Sharia, under which each action that we perform fall under. These 5 categories are the compulsory actions, the recommended actions, those actions that are permitted, those actions that are disapproved, and those that are prohibited. The first section is the compulsory section, and these actions have to do with what are known as Faraid or fars, or Wajibaat, or those actions that are wajib or necessary. So let's take a look at the first section today. In this video, I'm going to talk about those actions that are fard or wajib. For the majority of the Islamic schools of jurisprudence, the word fard and wajib means the same. That there's no distinction between the two, that they both have to do with those actions that are necessary, that are required, that are compulsory, that are essential. However, the Hanafi madhab, or the Ahnaf, the people of the Hanafi madhab, make a distinction between an obligatory action, which is a fard action, and a wajib action. And this is where I will delve a little further in as to what exactly are the differences between the two. A fard action or fard action, an obligatory action, is that which is derived from a dalil qat'iy. What is a dalil qat'iy? It means that it is a proof that is unambiguous, and this specifically means that it is derived directly from the Quran, from ayat that are very clear, and it also is derived from hadith that is mutawatir. So a mutawatir hadith is a hadith that it has hundreds to thousands of chains of transmission, and they all point to the same text. They all refer back to the same text, meaning that there have been so many narrators, countless, to the level that anybody who denies it either does not understand what a mutawatir hadith is and its authenticity, or just is denying something out of ignorance. The one who acts upon a fard is the highest form of worship, and they are rewarded immensely for those actions by the lawgiver. It is forbidden, or it is haram, not to act upon a fard action, and one is liable and deserving of punishment from the lawmaker. Examples of this are the 5 pillars in Islam, or any act that has been established through a hadith mutawatir. For example, the qira'at that is performed, qira'at meaning recitation of the Holy Quran, that must be performed within the prayer. That is a fard action, and if that action is not present in the prayer, the entire prayer is invalid. Now, fard is also known as fard i'tiqadi as opposed to fard amali. Fard action is fard i'tiqadi in that if a person were to deny the validity or the obligatory nature of a fard action, in other words, they say that I do not believe that such and such fard action is actually fard, whereas it has been proven from a dalil qat'i, from a text that is unambiguous, from the Quran or from a hadith mutawatir, that takes the person out of Islam, or it is an act of disbelief, an act of kufr. So let's look at this in contrast with a wajib action. Now, wajib action is fairly strong. They both are just a degree apart, in that a wajib action, the only difference is that this is derived from a dalil dhanni. Dhan means that there's some doubt as to its interpretation, but there's no doubt in terms of the strength of the hadith. The hadith is maybe a khabar wahid, but it is not mutawatir, and therefore because of it not being mutawatir and not being from the Quran, this is not considered fard i'tiqadi, but it is called fard amali. Amal in Arabic language means either to do a wazifa, to do something, and it actually also means worship, the act of worship. So if a wajib is omitted from an act of worship, the entire act of worship becomes invalid. Okay, and so therefore it either has to be corrected or the action needs to be repeated. So this difference of fard amali and fard i'tiqadi must be known, and this is the primary difference, is that one is a dalil qat'iy, an absolute proof, and then the other one is a dalil dhanni, which means a proof that is open to interpretation. Denying a wajib action is not kufr, but it is deemed fisq or corruption in one's faith, in one's understanding of their faith. You are rewarded for performing a wajib action, and it is makruh tahrimi. Makruh tahrimi is very close to haram, to actually not act upon a wajib act. So makruh tahrimi has been translated here as disliked prohibitively. Examples of a wajib is the witr prayer that occurs, which are 3 rakats in the Hanafi madhab that occur after all of the prayers in Isha or towards the end or later part of the night. Also zakatul fitr, which is a poor due, a poor tax that is given to the poor before the prayer, the congregational prayer of Eid during Eid al-Fitr after Ramadan. Anyone who does not perform a wajib action is liable for punishment from the lawmaker and deserving of punishment. So that is the difference between an obligatory action and a necessary action, or a fard and a wajib action in the Hanafi school of thought. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to act upon our fara-id and upon the wajibat, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to follow the deen of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.